Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Wrath of the Righteous with me, Bragaton. Let's head to Ashen Grotto. Then we'll go to the Temple of the Good Hunt, then the Hellknights Outpost.
The light take you!
This will be the stuff of legend.
Don't hold back!
Begone, fiend!
Whatever comes next, we'll be ready.
I'm gone.
Yeah. We'll have to buff up before we... Oh yeah. I remember this place.
A bright future awaits us.
We should move.
Mimosi Travisi. Matritium Turinos. Abronda Gratior. Ona Adayan. Ona Adayana. Aborane Sentes. Ona Adayana. Ona Adayana. Ona Adayana. Inimosi Travisi. Inimosi Travisi.
Don't mind me. Wash. Na eya orama. Na eya orama. Na eya orama. Na eya orama.
I will lend you my aid. Sentes. Ona Adayana. Inimosi Travisi. Aborane Sentes. Aborane Sentes. Aborane Sentes. Aborane Sentes. Quadritium Turinos. Abronda Grati. Ona Adayana.
We don't need elemental resistance here, but I'm gonna take it anyway.
Ona Adayana. Ona Adayana. Stationi Savitur. Stationi Savitur. Stationi Savitur. Stationi Savitur. Stationi Savitur. Ona Adayanam. Inimosi Travisi. Ona Adayanam. Ona Adayanam. Ona Adayanam.
I'm all ears.
Inimosi Travisi. Inimosi Travisi. Inimosi Travisi.
Alright, let's see how this goes.
We do it my way. Strike!
What? How dare you? I'll tear your legs off so you'll never go wandering in other people's caves again. Yeah, I'm sure you will, buddy.
Yet another obstacle. You've crossed the wrong mongrel.
Yeah.
Follow if you dare.
My will is resolute.
Patricium Turinos! Patricium Turinos!
Well, that's a start.
Who, me?
It's more where that came from as well. So, you know what?
Suffered enough.
Let's go ahead and pop this.
Ona Adayana!
This will be quick.
The Inheritor, guide my blade.
Alright, Sela should be able to hold the line there for a bit.
Fall!
You should have run!
The goddess protects us.
I've had that go worse before. But also often forget that there's swarms in this cave.
Turinos. Magritium Turinos.
He's Cristata. The Nature's Collar. Whenever this +3 corrosive Great Club confirms a critical hit or kills an enemy, enemies in a 15-foot area must pass a Fortitude saving throw DC 25, or suffer 2d6 piercing damage as little bugs are awakened and leave this rotten Great Club. It's not bad. I just don't see very many people take Great Club.
I do what I must. I'm gone.
I'll read the description for Ashen Grotto. The bare bones of humans and animals are scattered at the entrance to this spacious cave. A putrid stench of smoke and rotten meat emanates from inside. Whoever resides here must only interrupt their gruesome feast to go hunting for more fresh meat. And Temple of the Good Hunt. This is where, in times of yore, the Sarkorians worshipped Aristul, the patron of hunting and country life. The demon invasion left the temple without its flock, but it somehow avoided the wrath of monsters that usually ravage any trace of the worship of good gods. It stands still, empty and decrepit, waiting for the mortals to return.
We're in Dresden, Trevor. I wish you could see this for yourself.
If he's alive, he'll hear about it. And he'll be cheering along with us.
I'll take care of it.
Ona Adayana. Ona Adayana.
Unimosi Travisi. Magritio. Turinos. Amranda Gratior. Aborane Sendes.
Ona Adayana. Ona Adayana. Ona Adayana.
Unimosi Travisi.
We will win this war. Did I mess up again?
Act nicely.
Axi. Ya ha I Riti. Wash. Ah. Na. Ea. Ora. Na. Ea. Ora. Na. Ea. Ora. Na. Ea. Ora.
Search for the beauty. Not lies.
Adayana.
Aborane Sendes. Unimosi Travisi. Aborane Sentes. Aborane Sendes. Aborane Sentes. Aborane Sendes. Magritio Turinos. Magritio Turinos. Amranda Gratio. Ona Adayanam. Ona Adayanam. Ona Adayanam. Ona Adayanam. Ona Adayanam. Ona Adayanam. Stagioni Savitur. Stagioni Savitur. Stagioni Savitur. Stagioni Savitur. Stagioni Savitur.
Alright, Bismuth gets it instead of Sunshine. That's okay. I don't think we need it here anyway.
Unimosi Travisi. Ona Adayanam. Ona Adayanam.
In fact, enemies might not be here at this stage of the game. I don't
Always
recall.
be ready for the worst.
This might all be for nothing. What is going on here?
Are we in trouble yet? I'm curious.
Why is land invisible?
Unimosi Travisi. Unimosi Travisi.
What's over there?
Alright, I see him now. That's weird. They only show up later. So yeah, all that was for nothing. So, in Act 5...
We do it my way.
No, it might be Act 3 later on. Demons will be standing outside the temple.
Follow if you dare. I do what I must.
That's Kyado.
Might be trap, might be treasure.
Can't hide from me.
Something wrong. This is my kind of work. My tail is twitching. Must be a sign. Pretty good, aren't I?
Alright, Specimen 367, Finian Dismar, Test Report 1. Master. The first stage of the testing process was a success. Specimen 367, Finian Dismar, turned into a sword on command. The sword possesses sufficient sharpness and the ability to adjust the wielder's strike. It beheaded a crusader with a single blow. A clean cut. The blade is undamaged. Additional notes. The specimen makes unwanted noises resembling weeping. No reaction to threats.
This is my kind of work.
Alright, Ultimate Predator. These D-pads grant the wearer a +2 insight bonus on attack and damage rolls made with the natural weapons against animals, magical beasts, and monstrous humanoids. I like relying on critical hits. Or Bismuth being unequipped. It's always hard to keep him equipped because it randomly, sometimes when he travels between areas or when he dies, it'll unequip all of his items.
Do it my way.
If you're not paying attention, you might actually sell off his equipment.
This is my kind of work.
Something over there.
Pretty good, aren't I?
Follow if you dare.
This is my kind of work.
I'm begging you, don't go in there. Young Claret lets out a loud scream and addresses you in a quavering voice. I beg you, don't touch that door. I discovered a concealed door in the temple. Where does it lead? Kyado's face goes gray, and he falters and stutters over his words. But what door? Ah, the door. It leads into the cellar. There's nothing interesting behind that door. Sweat breaks out on the cleric's forehead as he looks at you with pleading eyes. So this is new to me? I reveal the light of heaven. You're lying. You have a dark secret that is eating you up inside. Rid yourself of it. Something bad has happened to you, and I'm not going to harm you. Only you can help yourself. Kyado gazes at you with wide, awestruck eyes and falls to his knees. Determination and contrition ring clear in his voice. I repent, Commander. I'm a prisoner of Baphomet's witch, Zenidra. She came one night, threatened me, and forced me to let her into the crypt. She said that her friends would be coming here, and then she placed a curse on me. If I allow anyone other than initiated servants of Baphomet into the crypt without her permission, a brood of rats will appear in my stomach, and they'll gnaw me from the inside out. So I panicked, like a coward. I said nothing to anyone, but I know there are reeking abominations in there, in my temple. But you're right. No one can help me apart from myself, and my faith is strong. The next time that accursed witch comes here, I'll show her who's the biggest turnip in this field. I'll lie in wait in the crypt, and then I'll attack and burn her bones to ash. I'd ask you for your help. I suppose you wouldn't want to sit around here waiting for Zenidra to appear. You have your own duties, of course, as commander. And even if I did let you into the crypt, Zenidra's curse would kill me on the spot. So I have to manage on my own. You can count on me. Kyado's face is alight with determination. I don't know who this Zenidra is. I'd really like to get my hands on her and have a chat. Or maybe I'll just reach for my weapon right away. It speaks a language all its own. But a quick death is too good for cultist scum like her, after all the fear and torment and pain they put people through. After this fierce outburst, Tila calms down again and speaks to Kyado. Stay strong, kid. You're not alone. You have allies. And your faith. Remind me, who are you? They call me Kyado the Shepherd Boy. Well, that's what they used to call me. but it's not very fitting for a priest, is it? The cleric lapses into a confused silence for a few moments. I come from a village near Lastwall. I've always been drawn to Aristol even as a kid. A cleric by the name of Jode, who appears in Kingmaker, I once passed through our village, a kind old man. He looked me in the eye, a silly little kid, and he said, "I see you're going to serve Aristol just like myself." And so I did. When I heard about your crusade, I set out to join it, just like my heart was telling me to do. At first I served as a novice under the venerable Rathmus, but now he's gone, and I've been left to my own. Rathmus and I marched on Dresden with your forces. We fought in your host. And then when the demons were driven out, I came here. This temple is centuries old. Aristol's worshippers would have come here in their hundreds in the past. But even now, we get the odd pilgrim wandering in. That's why I wanted to take over this temple. Someone ought to take care of this sacred place. I want to know more about this temple and everything connected to it. Where to begin? This temple is dedicated to Delamere. Oh, I mean, of course, it is a temple of Aristol. But Delamere was the prior of this temple. I mean, no, I am the prior of this temple, and she is like its blessed Mother Superior, its patroness. The young man falls into a confused silence, looks pleadingly at you. But what is it like to be a prior? Oh, it's terrifying. I live here alone, you see. People travel a great distance to come here, but I have been given an important task. Here in the World Wound, these temples are needed more than ever, so the people don't lose their faith. But that doesn't stop my legs shaking in terror. When I think of my teacher Rathmus, rest his soul, I just feel like running away. I swear, I would have run long ago. One thing keeps me here. Aristol would not have granted me these spells for no reason. I cannot let him down. Or the people. I can't let them down either. You say you're a coward, but you're in no hurry to leave this place, even though nobody's keeping you here. I know from experience how scary it is to be alone surrounded by strangers. You're not as weak as you think you are. You're stronger than most. This place frightens you, but you're still here. You should be proud of that. Kyado smiles bashfully. Aristol is with me. If my faith is strong, his antlers will protect me from evil demons. He won't let them devour me. Tell me about Delamere. She lived in these parts back when Sarkoris was still standing. She was a priestess of Aristol, and the Kellids deeply respected her for her hard nature and her unshakable faith. Aristol blessed her with various wonders, and the common folk knew that she would stand up for them. Delamere did not like city life. She said cities encouraged vile deeds and corruption of the soul. She said that people ought to live in small clans, where everyone knows everyone, where everyone is kin, where every person has a duty to the rest. You can't hide your sins in a village. In a village, everyone knows what kind of person you are. She had a revelation that she would travel around the villages and see how many people lived there. If any settlement had more than 53 souls, she drove out all the rest and told them to settle elsewhere, because otherwise the villages would have grown and turned into little towns. Her methods were harsh, of course, but people still listened to her, because Aristol himself was on her side. She had an edge to her. She single-handedly chased off whole bands of marauders that harassed villagers. Oh, I remember hearing stories about her. Delamere was a strange one, all right. She wasn't wrong about cities. They're all dung heaps. The people who live in them are swindlers through and through. But she had no right to tell people how they should live. If she had tried anything like that in our village, it would have sent her running back to Aristol. And after she died, this temple is built in her honor, in the place where Aristol gifted her with his relics. They say it was here that a white stag emerged from the forest and spoke to her in a human voice, telling her that she should hunt it, because it was the will of her lord. Delamere tracked that stag for 3 days and 3 nights through the forests, and when she ran it to the ground, she made its antlers into a bow and its hide into armor. And that bow never misses, and Aristol himself blessed that armor so that it repels the strikes of enemies. So she's buried here is what you're saying. There's gotta be a crypt or something like that, right? Could there be any valuables lying around in there, do you think? What, valuables? No man's voice hardens all of a sudden. There are no valuables in there. You better stop thinking what you're thinking just now. What you were thinking just now. Excuse me. You're in a sacred place, Woljif. Try to think about something other than filling your pockets for once. Yeah, I do not share her views, but I respect her faith. Even I think that she was a hard woman. Can it truly be wrong for more than 53 people to live in one place? And if there are 54, does the moral decay and treachery begin immediately? Kyado catches himself and turns red. But that is my foolishness and ignorance talking. The wisdom of Aristotle was revealed to Delamere, so she must have understood the unique mysteries underpinning the world. I want to know more about Aristotle's teachings. Aristotle is an old god, back from the times when there were no such things as towns. Simple he is, and good. He wants people to be the same. He wants them to live in small settlements where everyone knows each other. He wants them to value the simple joys of life, and not vacuous pondering. He wants people to earn their bread honestly, through hunting, crafts, farming, and fishing. He especially prizes hunting, of course, when it is for sustenance rather than sport. He's both stag and hunter. He favors both guises. Aristotle does not like finery, and he demands no special ceremonies. He used to simply appear before hunters and rangers and offer his wisdom. When he is angered, he is terrifying. If someone harms the country folk, takes pleasure in hurting animals, or spoils the crops, that person may well take an arrow from Aristotle, and his bow knows no mercy. It is the father of all bows, for it was Aristotle who taught people how to shoot. Everything is clear. It was my pleasure to be of service, Commander. Have you heard about my new powers? Your power is like the sunrise after a long night. It is hard to miss it. And like the sun, it is as likely to burn as light the way. That is what I sense. Take care, for this bright light will lure not only good souls, but enemies as well. Demons always immediately seek to destroy what they despise. And what they despise is all that is beautiful and virtuous. I need the services of a cleric. I'll be glad to help, Commander. I've kept all of Rathmus's scrolls, and I've even managed to learn a few of his tricks. I study languages so that I can read foreign scrolls. Rathmus used to call me a polyglutton. I never met a foreign language I didn't want to sink my teeth into. The young man seems to preen slightly. So I think he just sells everything that Arsino sells back in Dresden. So you can buy 2 of them. I don't think they share an inventory. Oh, it looks like they do, actually. Hunter's Assurance. I think we've already seen that, because I sold that to him, if I'm not mistaken. Young cleric of Aristotle greets you with a shy smile. What an honor it is to see you again, Commander. Welcome to the Temple of Delamere the Blessed. As the temple's prior, I offer my greetings. At the word prior, the priest's face flushes pink. Not read. I want to go inside the crypt. The cleric's resistance is hanging by a thread. His lips are trembling and his voice drops to a whisper. I have the key, but what right do you have to... So, the Trickster Mythic Path, you can convince him that you are a follower of Baphomet. When you go inside, I don't think that he explodes into rats. As the commander of the Crusade, I order you to give me the key. Kyado guiltily hangs his head like a criminal caught in the act. With a trembling hand, he gives you the key. Final words sound unexpectedly clear and crisp. Don't go in there. Won't go in there yet. I want to see what happens with the Angel Mythic Path. There is some unique equipment down there. The bow and the armor that was talked about that Delamere had from the White Stag.
I'm off.
I'm pretty sure it's a longbow. which Rushla is using. We don't have Rushla in the party, so I'm not too worried about it. And I don't remember the armor being particularly good. Alright, Hellknights Outpost. Mendevians built this fortress in the rock during the First Crusade, and were forced to abandon it after the turning point of the war. It fell into disrepair but remained untouched until the Hellknights discovered it and set up their base inside. Its stone walls may be hard, but not as hard as the indomitable will of its protectors. Alright, so we need Regil. We'll see how this one goes. It should be okay. And we get the Wicked Dope. Oh gosh, that's a lot of damage. The pack of sick and rabid beasts battled with unprecedented rage, driven on by a sinister old man wearing the rags of a druid. The putrid smells emanating from his body sent the Crusaders into convulsions. In a stentorian voice, he declared that all living things must die for new life to rise from the ashes, and perpetuate the eternal cycle. On the face of the crazed fool grew hideous toadstools. He was finally slain with the blade. With all due precautions, his creepy crooked druid staff was handed over to the commander. Wicked Dope. The famous druid Selima journeyed into the lands of the World Wound to heal the flora and fauna crippled by the Cataclysm. He was fearless and the call of duty in his heart was strong. Wherever he passed, green grass grew once more in gravel and rock, and poison waters were purified. The demons could not harm Selima, for he was strong and experienced. But it was not claws or blades the druid should have been afraid of. Each day that he witnessed the torments of nature and the terrible wounds inflicted on Galarian, his mind was slowly poisoned by madness. A year later, the druid's appearance was said to be frightful, his hair clotted and covered with mildew, his majestic staff twisted and matted with toadstools and withered vines. Selima came to believe in the death of all creation. His feverish fantasies began to visualize the natural cycle of life and death as horrific torment yielding only dust and excreta. The druid that had restored life began instead to disfigure and poison the natural world. Thenceforth, wherever he went, he spread the disease, accompanied by a pack of venomous beasts. Selima became a prophet of pestilence and a herald of blight and putrefaction. Putrefaction. Not putrefaction. The mere touch of his staff brought madness and decay. I'll rest up here.
It's not that I miss the creatures from my old hunting grounds in the caves. But back there, if a beast didn't eat you for lunch, you could eat it instead. It doesn't work like that with demons.
This one's gonna be tough. I'm not sure if we can actually take this fight. We'll try it. Probably not super excited about that. They have nowhere to go, unfortunately. We're definitely gonna need to lose some units this fight. There's nothing I can do about it. I could reload, but... I'm not going to. We'll just take the hit. We'll be alright. Wow, that's actually a lot of archers lost. That sucks. It's alright. Most of our damage comes from our generals, so I'm not too worried about it. The unit that was moving towards Resin, but fell under the succubi's charms, has been defeated. Any survivors will be handed over to the priest to cleanse their souls. The dead shall be laid to rest. Only the succubi who committed this villainous act were chopped into pieces and dishonorably burned. Daily income increase, finance points times 400. That's actually a pretty nice little boost. I think that's all the armies we can currently reach. I might go ahead and start moving back up this way. Be in a more centralized location to better defend all of our outposts. Surprised we didn't level up off that. Alright, I'm gonna call it here. Next time I'll enter the Hellknights Outpost and do Reginald's quest. And I'll probably go up to the Broken Cart while we're still out on our current sojourn. Then we'll go back to Dresden, come back down and do like Crimson Dust, Remains of a Disgusting Feast, Court of the Riddle, and so on and so forth. We could probably make it to the Dragon Burial Ground if we wanted to. We might be able to reach this as well. I don't recall. Yeah, looks like we can. So we'll try that too. But either way for now, thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys in the next one.